What's going on YouTube? This is Chris the Mentalist Dreyer, aka Dreyer55597. And as you can see by the title, this is side decking and playing styles against mermails. Right here I have the main cards that you want to go into when you're playing against them. And I'm going to go ahead and explain it. So, Magical Android is in here because this is the tutor that you want to go into. So, basically, when you synchro your first psychic monster, I try to go Magical Android and then get a psychic commander out on the board so that I can go into Stardust. That way, Miracle Synchro Fusion's live and I have Stardust on the board. Stardust is really good against this deck, I feel like. It definitely stops the marksman, and that's the one that I have the most problem with. So that's why Magical Android is part of it. Stardust is a very big play. Alley Justice Catastrophe, because it's all water monsters. If you can get them to either use heavy infantry on this, or if you can, get around their heavy infantry and then summon this, you should be able to hopefully find yourself in a good position. But of course, since they can search everything they want, it probably won't stay on the board too long, but it'll take care of a couple problem cards. And then on to the Naturia part. The Naturia Barkion and the Naturia Landois. These are the two preventative cards in this deck. In this matchup, excuse me. Barkion is preventative in the fact that it stops the Abysphere, it stops the Torrential Tributes, stops the Compulsives, stops everything barring Solemn Warning. So Abysphere is a very important part of their deck. It's not the backbone, but it's like the arms. You can't really do anything without your arms. Abysphere is part of that. So you stop their Abysphere play and you mitigate one of their pluses in their back rows. So Naturia Barkion is really good, and it also, of course, it lets you do your plays safely too. So that's a plus. Naturia Landois is a love and hate card in this matchup because you love the fact that it can negate their effects. It can negate their effects on field and in grave, and it destroys them. So if you negate an Abyss Spike, you destroy their Abyss Spike. You hate because you have to discard a spell card. In this deck, the only spell cards that you have are Space, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Mercy Teleport, Miracle Synchro Fusion. I mean, I've just named all power spell cards. All these cards are good for reasons other than just pitching out Landois. Granted, if you have multiple Miracle Synchro Fusions, yeah, sure, go ahead and pitch one. But this is your win condition. This card is almost able to beat the deck by itself. If it wasn't for the fact that Megalo Abyss is level 7, and if they get 2, they can go into Big Eye. Or if they have a Gachi with, what's that card? Mulan Glacier on the board. I mean, those are really the main ways that they can get out of the Ultimate Axon play. Oh, and Mulan Glacier and Abyss Dweller on the field, because all of them gain 500. But other than those couple of plays, Ultimate Axon Kicker tears the deck up. If you can get an Ultimate Axon Kicker and a Stardust out on the board with multiple back row, then you should win that duel, because you have your Ultimate Axon Kicker protecting itself and putting pressure on your opponent. You have your Stardust protecting your back row, and you have your back row protecting your Stardust, just like Dragoonides used to do. So that's the keyboard that you want to try to get on the field. Now, there's a debate that people have with these 4 cards, or these 2 really, Maxi and Effect Veiler. Which one should be played in this matchup and which one shouldn't. Truthfully, I really don't find any big leeway in either one's case. Sure, Maxi lets you plus off of Abysphere, but they're plussing off of Abysphere. So all you're really doing is getting more cards in hand so that your opponent can take them out of it with Mulan Glacier. Effect Veiler, you can stop their plays, but a lot of all the important effects are costs. So they're still going to search with Dragoons. They're still going to do everything that they want to do. So I really don't think that it's a big deal to be able to affect their anything except for Diva and Mulan Glacier when they drop it on you. So that's all that Veiler really stops in the deck. And Max C, I mean, if they show you Megalo Abyss, you discard Max C, they're going to stop right there. They're going to special summon Abyss. They're going to destroy a card with Marksman. They're going to search a card with Dragoons. They're going to get Abyss Sphere, and then they're going to attack. And then that's all they're going to do. And that's still a great play right there. So those cards aren't all that great in the matchup. And Phoenix Chain kind of falls in that category because Marksman is going to destroy it, or Heavy Infantry is going to destroy it. And at that point, I mean, you just wasted a spell or trap card. Yeah, it stops an attack, but I don't feel like it's all that powerful in the matchup. One card that is very powerful though is Tragodia. It's good for them and it's good against them too, because you don't want to commit too much to the board, just like you would play Inzectors back in the day. You don't want to commit too much to the board because they're just going to blow it up. So if you have Tragodia in hand, you don't want to commit too much. When they attack, you special summon your Trag, and then hopefully you can have your Trag get rid of some of their resources so that you can follow up with your other psychic plays, and then ultimately an ultimate Axon Kicker. So Trag is in the good pile. And Solemn Warning and Mystical Space Typhoon are two very great cards in this matchup, because Warning stops the Abyss Sphere as well as Space. Mermails are very powerful because they can play mind games, whether you should space their back row or not. And that just kind of warning stops it. And Space, you either decide if you want to do it then or if you want to wait until they activate it and then try to chain to it. Either way it goes, it's probably not the best move to hold on to it. But that's if you can deal with an Abyss Sphere play, then go ahead and space it. But if you can't, just try to wait until they activate it and then do it. On to games 2 and 3. Cards that you are going to want to side in is Triple Thunder King. This card absolutely wrecks the format, as everyone knows. But it doesn't touch us because we don't search. To our hands anyways, we search out of play it into the field. So as I've said over and over, Thunder King does nothing to us. And it helps us because we can stop the Genex Undyne play and the Abyss Spike play. Because both of them require searching. And they can't activate the cost because they can't activate their effects. So, at least as far as I understand. If I'm wrong, please tell me. But that's what I understand about this. So, I know for a fact that they cannot activate Genex Undyne's effect. Abyss Spike is a little bit fuzzy, but I feel like it's the exact same thing. So Thunder King Rayo is good about that. The only thing that he does not hit is Abyss Megalo. Abyss Megalo can still special summon itself over Thunder King Rayo because it's not a special summon condition. It is an effect that special summons. So it can't do it, just like it can't do High Priestess. So another card that I found is Fossil Dyna. And yeah, I play a psychic deck. I play a deck that special summons almost every turn. But if they're getting destroyed every turn, and I'm just special summoning something and it's getting destroyed later, it's not really doing too much. This stops your opponent. So if you can get these two out on board at the same time, you should be in a winning position, because they won't be able to activate Genex Undyne, Spike, any of that stuff. And then they can't special summon Abyss Megalo over your Thunder King because you have Fossil Dyna on the board. So if you can get those two out, you should be in a pretty good position. It stops the Megalo Abyss play, which is a very, very powerful play in that deck. Snowman Eater is good because with the multiple back row spells and traps that you're going to be playing, they're not going to try to, they usually won't hit your face down monsters. So when they go to attack with Abyss Megalo, Snowman Eater can take care of that. Silver Sentinel is an absolutely wonderful card in this matchup because, like I said, Marksman is the card that gives me the most problem. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate Marksman. And the fact that Silver Sentinel turns their +1 into a +1 for me is awesome, because they're going to destroy Silver Sentinel. That's a +1 for them. Silver Sentinel is going to come back during the end phase, so that's a +1 for me. And then Silver Sentinels destroy a card on their side of the field, so that's a +2 for me. So it equals out to a +1 for me. Then he's also a level 4 monster, which helps me go into Abyss Dweller easier. He's a level 4 Earth monster, which helps me go into Barkion or Orlando easier. So I really like Silver Sentinel in this matchup. Now this card, Prohibition, you can play in any matchup. You just call the most powerful card that they have, or the card that you fear the most, and then boom, it's gone for the game until they space it or whatever, until they get rid of this card. So we have our own searchable version in Sideblocker. Sideblocker can be searched through Serene Psychic Witch and DD Telepon. Sideblocker not only stops your opponents from activating that card or their effects for the turn, but unlike Prohibition, you can change your mind with Sideblocker. So Prohibition, once you've activated it, you're done. That's it. Game over. Sideblocker, you can activate it, and then depending on what else they have or however aggressive you're trying to be, you can activate it for a different effect. So I like Sideblocker in that, and I also like him because he's another level 4, which helps you go into Abyss Dweller as well. So Sideblocker is a very good card in the matchup. Everybody should know how good Debunk is, so I'm not really going to go into that. You definitely have to play it. This card, though, Forbidden Graveyard. You activate by discarding 1 card, and effects that activate in the graveyard this turn are negated. So it's a soul drain for that turn. It's a quick play spell card, and it's good because we can't play soul drain the whole time. It messes up our clerics and everything. But if we have, a face-down cleric or something like that, or a psychic commander on board, we don't need our graveyard. Just activate this when they, reveal Megalo Abyss, send the 2 cards, chain this. Those 2 cards just became a -2 to summon Megalo Abyss. So I like Forbidden Graveyard a lot if you can get it played at the right time. Another card is Rivalry of the Warlords, and yes, this might not be as strong of a pick, but Gozen Match is absolutely terrible in the matchup. Rivalry, though, not only does it stops them from exceeding, really, stops them from synchron most of the time, and it makes them choose what they want to play with. Abyss Spike is a fish, and Megalo Abyss is a sea serpent. Next Undyne is an aqua monster. I mean, although those are just a few differences, the fact that Rivalry stops them from gaming you that turn, if they summon an Undyne and then you Rivalry, it stops them from gaming you that turn, is what, is a really good thing. It's something that's needed because one turn can make a difference. And then if you're really, really desperate, like I was when I first started playing against them, you can go ahead and try the macro out yourself. And as I did in the Dino Rabbit matchup, you can play the 2 Brain Hazards and the DD Telepon. Macro Cosmos completely shuts them down, as everybody knows. So you can try that if you would like to, and hopefully you'll have some good good results with that. But this is my my advice for Psychic players of what cards might be good fit for the Mermail Atlantean matchup. My strongest picks would be something in these cards. If you side anything between Debunk, Prohibition, Sideblocker, Silver Sentinel, Fossil Dyna, and Thunder King, if you can side something like that, then you should be in a pretty good position game 2 and 3, hopefully. As always, if you guys have any more ideas or suggestions, please just put it in the comment box and I will comment right away. I will try them out and let you know how it goes. But anyways, this is Dreher55597 with another video for you guys, and I'm out.